In a quiet little town, on a quiet winter morning, lived a young man named Elliot. He wasn't rich, famous, or powerful. He worked in a small roadside cafe, serving tea and bread to people rushing through their busy lives. Elliot had kind eyes, slightly messy hair, and a calm smile that just made you feel safe, even if you didn't know why. He believed in one simple thing, that kindness, no matter how small, always matters. One cold evening, just as the cafe was about to close, Elliot noticed an old woman standing outside. She was thin, her clothes were worn, and she clutched a small cloth bag to her chest as if it were her only possession. People walked right past her without a second glance. Some even went out of their way to avoid her. The wind was biting and her hands were shaking. Seeing her, Elliot felt a heavy weight in his heart. He stepped outside and gently asked, "Would you like some tea?" The woman hesitated, her voice a whisper. "I don't have any money." Elliot smiled warmly and replied, "Tea doesn't need money. It only needs warmth." He brought her inside, sat her down, and gave her a steaming cup of tea and a fresh loaf of bread. He didn't ask her name, or her story, or why she was out in the cold. He just sat quietly across from her, offering a moment of peace, making sure she felt human again. Before she left, Elliot wrapped the leftover bread in paper. Tucked inside, he placed a small, handwritten note. It read, "When you can, be kind to someone else." The woman's eyes filled with tears. She simply nodded and walked away into the night. Elliot thought that was the end of it. He was wrong. Days later, that same woman gave half of her bread to a hungry child she found near a bus stop. The child, feeling the warmth of that kindness, went on to help his exhausted mother carry her heavy bags home from work. The mother, touched by her son's unexpected help, decided to pay for a stranger's bus ticket the very next day. That stranger later helped a man who had fallen on the street. That man happened to be a teacher who, inspired by the gesture, began offering free evening classes to children in the neighborhood who couldn't afford school. Slowly, almost invisibly, that one cup of tea started a chain reaction of kindness. Months passed, and the town began to change in subtle ways. Free food shelves started appearing on street corners. Strangers smiled at each other more often. People started helping without being asked, without expecting anything in return. No one knew exactly how or why this wave of kindness had begun, but they felt it. It moved quietly through the community, like a soft, gentle wind. One day, a local newspaper published a story with the headline, "The Town Where Kindness Never Stops." The reporter, intrigued, decided to trace this movement back to its source. After weeks of asking questions, listening to stories, and connecting the dots, all the paths led back to one small cafe. The reporter found Elliot and asked him directly, "Did you start this?" Elliot looked genuinely confused. "Start what?" he asked. "This kindness, this incredible change in our town," the reporter explained. Elliot thought for a moment, then softly replied, "I only gave someone tea." The story went viral. It was shared far and wide, touching hearts across the country. People from other cities traveled to the small town, not as tourists, but as students, eager to learn. Schools started introducing kindness hours into their curriculum. Volunteers opened shelters and community centers. A simple rule began to spread from one community to another. Before asking what someone deserves, ask what they need. Years later, Elliot, now a bit older, stood in the same cafe. He watched as people outside helped each other without a second thought. Their actions are a natural part of the town's rhythm. The walls of his cafe were now covered with notes from strangers' messages of gratitude, hope, and love left by people whose lives had been touched by the chain of kindness. One note, written in elegant script, stood out from the rest. It read, "Your small deed gave me my dignity back. I passed it on. Now thousands are doing the same." Elliot smiled to himself, a quiet, knowing smile, because in that moment he finally understood something the world often forgets. You don't need to change the whole world all at once. You only need to change one moment for one person. And that single moment, that simple act of kindness, can go on to change thousands of lives. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider sharing it to spread the message. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that inspires.